Are you building a product-based business? Maybe you enjoy making t-shirts or tumblers or other handmade goods, maybe with DTF or with sublimation, and you feel like you're constantly working and you're constantly posting, constantly trying, but you're not growing like you thought you would, then I want to talk to you for just a minute. Not to tell you to work harder, not to pretend that the algorithm isn't real. This is not about your motivation, and this is not about your hustle. And it's not about chasing trends. It is about your structure. It's about what happens when all your effort has absolutely no place to land. Because when growth doesn't stack, it usually has nothing to do with lack of effort. It's not about how hard you're working. It's about your foundation. So let's talk just a minute about what's actually happening. You've been designing all week. You've been pressing shirts. You've been completing tumblers. You've done the photographs. You've adjusted the mock-ups. You've cleaned up your listing and you've written out all your captions. You finally make that post. And for a few minutes, there's activity. There's a few likes, there's a few comments, maybe even you got a share, and then it slows down, and you check back later. There's nothing new. You look at your reach. It's the same people that you see every single time you post. So you try again the next day. A different timing, a different caption, the same result. After a while, you start questioning things. You wonder, is this design any good? You wonder, is the market oversaturated? And you start wondering, is everybody else just ahead of me? But when people actually see your work, they love it. They purchase. They become repeat customers. Your lack of being seen has nothing to do with your quality. What you can't figure out is why it feels like you're starting completely over every time you show up to post. It's exhausting. It wears you completely out. Not because you don't love what you're doing, but because everything feels temporary. Most product-based businesses are being completely built on borrowed platforms, Facebook groups, Instagram feeds, short-term reach platforms. Those places were built to create movement. They reward what's new. They reward what's trending. They reward people scrolling. They are not meant to store your growth. So every time you post, you get a little bit of exposure and then it disappears. And the next time you post, you're starting back at zero. That does not make you bad at business. It means you're building inside a system that requires permission. They decide who sees you. They decide when they see you, and they decide for how long you're being seen. And after a while, that starts feeling overwhelming, not because you're small, but because you are depending on a platform that resets every single day. Exposure gives you a moment. Ownership gives you momentum. If everything depends on the reach you can't control, then nothing grows. You're not invisible. You're just simply building on something that does not belong to you. And that's a completely different problem. This is also why I am intentional about how you build. Design Made Easy, Fun Guaranteed is linked below this video if you would like a place to finish something well. It's not about chasing trends. It's about creating from quality so that what you build actually holds up. So check that out after this video. There is a completely other layer of this foundation thing. When your business completely depends on social platforms, you will always be waiting for reach, waiting for approval, waiting to be shown. And after a while, that starts feeling like you're waiting on permission to grow. And at some point, you have got to decide that you are not doing business that way any longer. Not by quitting social media, but by choosing to not let it be your foundation. Because if you want stability, you need ownership. And ownership looks like this: a way to reach your people directly, a way to communicate without just hoping that the feed cooperates today, a place that doesn't disappear when the scroll moves. And when I realized that, I started building an email list. I use system.io because I could start for free and I could eliminate the thought of one more thing that I have to purchase that I really could not afford. It wasn't complicated at all. It was foundational, and it changed how my business felt. Less like chasing and more like building, because confidence in business does not come from more and more posting. It comes from knowing that you do not need external permission to grow your business. And when you own your audience, the effort, it starts compounding instead of resetting every single day. And that makes all the difference. If you don't have a way to reach your customers outside of social media platforms, I highly recommend System.io. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, but you do have to begin. There is a link to System just below this video, so no more excuses because you can start completely for free. And while we're talking about building foundations and building structures, I care so much about the quality of the products that you are producing. And that's why I'm offering you access to a complete creative collection totally free. Design Made Easy, Fun Guaranteed is linked right below this video. If you would like a steady place to finish something well, it is filled with high quality art, step-by-step video tutorials so that you can automatically create from quality. There's no need scrambling to keep up with the noise. It's a simple place to get started, and you can find the link below. When you build something that you own, your entire energy changes. You're not clicking refresh on your insights every single hour. You're not rewriting your captions trying to outsmart timing. You're actually building something that accumulates. When somebody joins your email list, that doesn't expire in 24 hours. When somebody buys from you and they hear from you directly, they don't need an algorithm to know that you exist. You stop trying to go viral and you start trying to become recognizable. Because recognizable businesses grow in even small rooms. Because 100 views means something when 100 people know who you are. And 500 subscribers really means something when you can actually reach them. Growth stops feeling random and it starts feeling structured. Yes, social platforms, they limit your reach. But we are not building businesses that collapse because of that. We are building foundations that hold, and you don't need more permission. You just need a simple structure. And once your structure shifts, your confidence will follow. If you want a steady place to start building well, Design Made Easy, Fun Guaranteed is a great place to start. It's a simple place to start building products that last. And just remember, you don't need more permission. You just need that foundation. It is steadier, it's more intentional, and it's more sustainable for that woman who's behind your business. And if this conversation felt like it was meant for you, then click that like button so that other women can find us who might feel the same way. If you are ready to begin building your business on a firm foundation, then subscribe to my channel. Because we're not just making products here. We're building businesses that support the women and their families who run them. And that is worth doing well.